Good evening. This is the pre-council meeting for the city of Joliet on August the 3rd, 2015. The Honorable Mayor Bob Odenkirk presiding.
Let's begin with roll call. Mayor Overkirk.
Here.
Councilman Gavin.
Here.
Councilman Girl.
Here.
Councilman Hug. Councilman McFarland.
Here.
Councilman Morris.
Here.
Councilman Mudrin.
Here.
Councilwoman Coleman.
Here.
Councilman Turk.
Here.
On the agenda tonight is a proclamation honoring the City of Joliet Responsible Gaming Education Week for Harrah's Joliet Casino and Hollywood Casino.
Hi, good evening, Mayor and members of the council. My name is Mike Knott. I'm here to represent Hollywood Casino Joliet. To my left is Cindy Fioca-Bloom on behalf of Harrah's Joliet. This week, across the country, the entire casino industry is celebrating Responsible Gaming Week. And the sole purpose of this week is to raise awareness in the eyes of our customers and our employees and the general community about the importance of going to casino, having fun, but not overdoing it. Your proclamation today really reinforces the importance of this topic, and so we thank you very much for issuing it.
Okay, I'm going to read the proclamation for Responsible Gaming Week. I'll give you this one, and I'll read from this one. The proclamation reads as follows. Whereas the commercial casino industry is an important part of the community of Joliet, Illinois, and the commercial casino industry contributes greatly to the economy and quality of life of our citizens by providing jobs, supporting public services through the payment of taxes, investing in capital improvements throughout the community, donating generously to local charities, and increasing the tourist trade. And whereas the commercial casino industry provides entertainment and recreational value to its customers, and the commercial industry concentrates careful attention on those who experience problems with gaming. And whereas the commercial casino industry devotes significant resources to promote responsible play, including urging its employees to be ambassadors and share this important message within our community. And the commercial casino industry has designated August 3rd to the 7th Responsible Gaming Education Week this year in an additional effort to raise the awareness among casino employees, patrons, and the public about the importance of responsible play. Whereas 2015 is the 18th year the industry has marketed Responsible Gaming Education Week. Now therefore, I, Robert Odenkirk, Mayor of the City of Joliet, on behalf of the Joliet City Council, do hereby proclaim August 3rd to the 7th, 2015, to be the City of Joliet Responsible Gaming Education Week, and congratulate the commercial casino industry for its constant vigilance to address the challenges associated with disordered gambling. It's dated August 3rd and signed by Mayor Robert Odenkirk.
Next is citizens to be heard on agenda items. First, we have John Sheridan.
Mr. Mayor, City Council, maybe you would like me to speak. I want to speak on a memo tonight for a liquor license, memo 378-15. Would you like me to do that after the commissioner has an opportunity to present it?
No, we'll do it all right now.
We'll do it right now?
Yeah,
Very
thank
well.
you.
All right, I'm here tonight as a facilitator for the Cunningham Neighborhood Council. First, I would like to thank the city liquor commissioners for working with our CNC group when people apply for licenses. Our area, as you're well aware, has 20% of liquor licenses in the city of Joliet. And so we appreciate the city working with us in our area. While our group respects its members' opinions, we had 50-plus members voted on June 3rd meeting with overwhelming consensus to allow the license to take place, and that's at the 751 North Hickory Street El Primo Restaurant. We have to stick to the democratic process we have set up. A few neighbors that are objecting today never complained about location getting zoned to do a restaurant. They never complained about the parking all the years other businesses have been located at that area. The petition they presented of 16 people at the commissioner hearing that day do not live within the 300 feet requirement area to receive notification from the city. A number of the people on that petition were in attendance at our June meeting and didn't present any opposition. Matter of fact, a lot of you on the city council were at that June meeting, and we had a great discussion. The owner stated at the hearing that they would not be selling beer after 10 p.m. Sunday through Thursday, and on the weekends 11 o'clock, and that's working with the community because the liquor license itself goes to 1 o'clock. So we appreciate them doing that for us. And he also stated they will monitor the trash and containers in the back of their property. That was brought up as an issue. And they would be asking patrons not to park in front of their location. Again, that's working with us. The restaurants mentioned in the petition is not interested in video gaming machines. They're not turning their business into a bistro, as the rumors are stating. That's untrue. They simply want a restaurant. I ask the council to vote tomorrow to uphold the recommendations of the mayor and the liquor commissioners. Because again, CNC voted as a whole, as a group, and we support the decision that's being recommended tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Richard Surter.
My name is Rich Serdar. I live at 919 Hickory Street, 69 years. And we are against any more liquor licenses going in that area. John was talking about people voting for that. At that meeting, it seems to me it was a little stacked because there were a lot of people there that never had been there before. One from Rockdale, one from Crest Hill, one who was deceased, his name was on there. And we're not against the people opening up or running El Primo. We're against opening up more liquor licenses in that area. From Ruby Street to Theodore, from the river to Rayner, there are 18 places in the city that have liquor licenses. They sell retail liquor. Plus, on Theodore Street, you got 3 of them adjoining, Joliet, the Joliet area that are selling liquor. Our main objection is more liquor places. We don't live in a 300 feet distance from the El Primo, but neither did other people that voted on it. I don't think that the vote taken up there is an indication of the people living in that area. We live on Hickory Street. Right on Hickory Street, in 2 blocks, we live at 919. In 2 blocks, there are 5 places that sell liquor. Now, we're gonna want another one? Well, you have to live there in order to see what's going on. I don't care, about the other people that voted up there. I don't think they had the right. We have the right. I have the petition. We have people that live in this area that don't want it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Those are the only 2 that signed up at this time. Next will be the discussion on agenda items.
Thank you, Mayor. Members of council, tomorrow evening you have a number of agenda items. I'd like to direct your attention, first of all, to,
Jim,
I'm sorry.
sorry.
Just for the record, the Public Service Committee moved to remove agenda item 403-15 and ask that staff rebid it.
Directing your attention to memo 374. There are 2 position vacancies in the sewer operation field. It's 2 maintenance workers. These were positions that were approved in the budget just as part of bringing the staffing level back up in that area. These are entry-level, semi-skilled positions. Then under licenses, permit applications, number 377, we have an application for an Arby's restaurant for a drive-through. This is the development down on 53 and Laraway Road, the pilot development that you've already approved. And it's a big plaza, and part of that travel center, as they're referred to as an Arby's restaurant on the end, and they need your special use approval for a drive-through facility. And at this point, 378 through 380 are issuance of liquor licenses. That'll be presented by Deputy Liquor Commissioner.
Mayor, members of the council, next is Council Memo 378-15. Public hearing was held on July 14, 2015 for a requested Class E restaurant liquor license for Rosalva Valenciano, doing business as El Primo Mexican Restaurant, 751 North Hickory. The council has heard statements from Mrs. Sudar and Mr. Sheridan, who were in attendance at the meeting. Basically, that was what was discussed. Elizabeth Duarte, who resides in the city of Joliet, will be the resident manager. There are no outstanding monies owed to the city. And just for the record, a call was brought to the Liquor Commissioner's office this afternoon on a report that the liquor was being sold on the premises without a license. Detective Clement investigated at 5 o'clock this afternoon, found no evidence of any alcohol, went through the coolers, garbage containers, and whatever on the premises, found nothing in that matter. Based on the liquor hearing, the Liquor Commission is recommending approval of the license. Next is Council Memo 379-15. A public hearing was held on July 14, 2015 for a requested Class E restaurant liquor license for Ann D. Solden, doing business as Smokies, 2314 West Jefferson Street. No citizens appeared in opposition at the hearing. There are no outstanding monies owed to the city. And if the license is granted, it will not be issued until the building department has done a reinspection of the establishment. Based on the liquor hearing, the Liquor Commission is recommending approval of the license. Next is Council Memo 380-15. Public hearing was held on July 14, 2015 for a requested transfer of a Class B premise consumption only liquor license for Central Florida Restaurants, Inc., doing business as TGI Fridays, 3340 Mall Loop Drive, Lewis Joliet Mall. No citizens appeared in opposition at the hearing. Ashley Mayer, who resides in the city of Joliet, will be the resident manager. There are no outstanding monies owed to the city. What happened here was that the TGI Fridays sold their Illinois restaurants to Central Florida Restaurants, Inc., and it was a transfer of the license for the corporation, which the hearing was held for. Based on the hearing, the Liquor Commission is recommending approval of the license. Thank you.
Moving on through the agenda here, item 382 is a request for annexation on 1902 Heather Lane. This is a property that the Kriya Yoga Institute is looking to annex into the city. Property is a residential structure that'll be utilized as a rectory for the two priests at the institute. It is serviced by a private well and septic, and will remain as such until such time that either one of them fail, and then they'll be required to connect to the city. This will also require that the city take over Earl Road as a part of this. And there's a photograph of the now residential home that'll be used as a rectory. Staff is recommending approval of this annexation agreement. Item 383 is an adoption of the 2015 International Property Maintenance Code. As these codes are updated every several years based on oftentimes new materials coming into the market. The state reviews them, adopts them under state law, and then we're required to adopt them as well. So actually, in a lot of these cases, it streamlines our administration of these applications. It allows new methods of construction and to be acceptable under the code, and new materials as well, saving costs to residents and builders in the community. Item 384 is a preliminary plat of, in Center Point. This is south of Route 6, east of Terry Drive. Proposal includes a 2,500 square foot office building and a wheeled storage parking area for approximately 90 trailers. Lot 2, which is 65 acres, will remain undeveloped at this time. This is over in the, I believe, the Caterpillar area. Is that right, Jim? Yeah. And it's an expansion of the use that's in the area as well. Any questions? Item 385 is a final plat for Silver Cross Hospital and Medical Center. It's in a subdivision area. This is for the Hope Manor Apartments. This is a veterans apartment complex. We've got some photographs in the area. This has been before you in the past. They went to IDA to get some funding for the construction. And I want to point out to you something that you'll see on the plan here that you've got a hard copy of, but you can see here the property kitty corner from where the development will be, which today is a parking lot, contained originally a contemplation garden, and the staff and planning commission reviewed it, deciding that this area would not be developed, which should save in excess of $100,000 in the development costs, and it'll be deeded as a conservancy area and left in its natural state. So right now that area is wooded, and it'll just remain as such. I think Kendall has a few other slides we can show of the development itself. Maybe he does. I think you've seen the complex. I know that representatives of Hope Manor are here if you've got any questions for them. Exterior shot, layout of the family area. There'll be rec rooms and conference rooms and on-site housing for counseling centers. Moving on to item 386 is a vacation of a utility drainage easement at the request of a homeowner. Staff has, this is to allow for the construction of a large garage, and storage of, indoor storage of a commercial vehicle so that it's out of view of the neighborhood. It is in full compliance. We have no concern in terms of our utilities, and we're not opposed to this request.
Jim?
Mayor, I think we have some speakers that want to speak on this issue.
Sure.
Mayor, members of the council, my name is Don Black, and I'm a member of the Architectural Committee in Unit 4 Timber Estates, where Mr. Bistry's lot is located. And I'm here this evening on behalf of myself and the other two members of that committee, Jane Condon and Dan Mihelich. Our covenants in our subdivision provide that before any lot owner can build a house or any structure on his lot, he needs to come and get the approval of the Architectural Committee first. So for that reason, I'm asking that City Council to table this matter, give us 30 days, allow Mr. Bistry to come before our Architectural Committee, and after that process is over, then he can come back to the city. But 30 days, give him a chance to come see us, show us what he's going to do, let us rule on it, and then we'll go forward from there. Thank you.
Mayor, I've spoken to, was there other speakers, Mayor?
Well,
Okay.
yeah, except for the agenda item comments were at the beginning of the meeting.
Okay.
They want to go ahead.
Hi, my name's Roger Bistry, and I'm here for the sole purpose of a vacation of an easement, 2.5 feet of a 7.5-foot easement, which I have a approval letter, recommendation from the Planning Commission that was on the July 20th. And I didn't realize there was a legal architectural committee. I was never asked to be on it. My neighbor was never asked to be on it. And I think they're just getting way ahead of themselves. All I'm asking for is just a vacation of 2.5 foot of a 7.5 foot public easement, which there is nothing in there. And that's really all I have to say.
Thank you.
I think, Mayor, I've spoken to a few of the residents, and I think their request is, it's pretty valid. It's not asking for a whole lot. I think they're just asking for Mr. Beastry to come before the Architectural Committee and the Homeowners Association prior to we take any action here. So at this time, I'll move to table ordinance number 386, or council number 386-15 for 30 days.
Can I ask why that would be tabled?
Sir, can you please take a seat? The time for public comment was at the beginning of the meeting, and we kind of broke protocol, but I want to keep that if possible.
It's been motioned and
Is there a
seconded to.
second? Oh, okay.
Motion and seconded to table Council Number 386-15, which is an ordinance approving a vacation of a 2.5-foot by 178.48 portion of a 7.5-foot wide public utility and drainage easement located at 619 Wildwood Drive. Councilwoman Gavin.
Aye.
Councilman Girl.
Aye.
Councilman Hug.
Aye.
Councilman McFarland.
Aye.
Councilman Morris.
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin.
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman.
Aye.
Councilman Turk.
Aye.
Motion carried. The item was tabled.
This will be on the agenda then in 30 days?
It should be, and if the parties could speak to each other, I think this could be resolved, is my understanding.
Mayor, question.
Yes.
If they can resolve it in 2 weeks, can we put it on the agenda for the following week? Because I'm just reading the background, and it seems to be okay to me, but I don't live there, and I'm not part of the architectural committee, and I understand what they want to do. But I was thinking if they could get it resolved in 2 weeks rather than, have to push it back with the weather in September, and, would that be feasible?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I
Councilman?
mean, I think you can always come back sooner, but, it appears that 30 days should be a good amount of time for you to work this out. Yeah. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Quick question, Mayor.
Yes.
This brings up, Marty,
Yes?
as a city, we really shouldn't be enforcing covenants, correct?
That's correct.
But we're not enforcing it, I get that, but.
we're not.
But we're coming close.
You're right, it's not,
That's more of a civil matter, correct?
it is.
Okay, thanks.
Moving on to Agenda Memo 387. This is a 25-acre reclassification out at Center Point requiring 4 different actions. First is a change in zoning from IT, industrial park, to ITB, transportation equipment. And what they're looking, DeLong is a company that's proposing to build an additional grain handling and storage facility on Lot 47 next to the Saddle Creek Logistics and be part of that. The rest of the lot will be used by the Logistics Court, which is a private road, and stormwater detention, the easements, everything is in order. So there's preliminary plat, final plat, and recording plat that goes along with this action.
Quick question, Mayor. Yes. Quickly, Jim, on these preliminary plats, we don't have any preliminary estimates how many more trucks it's gonna add.
On what? I'm sorry.
Preliminary plats for this phase development you just described?
I can't hear you.
The preliminary plat on the Center Point development you just described?
Yes.
Do we have any preliminary estimates on how many new trucks it will bring?
No, I don't believe we do. I think as a grain facility, the trucks are constantly going in and out. And they're going from, they're being hauled from the farms. This is a transportation point, and then they'll be loaded into container cars that'll go onto rail. So I'm not sure it'll be a big storage area of vehicles, but more, trucks going in and out.
Okay, thank you.
Item 388 is a preliminary plat and recording plat for the Audubon Parkway. I think we've talked about this before. You've got the big garage mahals out there, and so this is the poor man's condo mahal, I guess. So you'll be able to have up to 6 vehicles in a condominium on the ground floor, and then living quarters up above. And so it's changing the plat to allow for these condominiums to be placed along the track and participate as a member out there and keep their vehicles right on site and live out there at times. Any questions? Item 389 is a special use permit for a 150-foot high wireless communication monopole located at 355 Grove Street. This is an industrial area. There's no problems in terms of interference or view from residential areas. It's going to be a single location there due to apparently the bedrock that they ran into, so they can't put multiple, they can only put so much weight on it, so it'll probably be just a single user on this monopole.
You sure we can't move it to the old prison? Make use of the property?
I guess they already have coverage there. Item 390 is approval of acquisition of right-of-way parcels for Caton Farm Road and Essington Road for using our Surface Transportation Program, STP, funds for improvement to that intersection. We've got 7 properties with various prices for purchase of the property, depending upon how much property is needed from each person, each property owner. We employed Civil Tech Engineering for the Phase 2 engineering and Santa Cruz Associates to negotiate with the property owners to complete the acquisition documents. Moving on to item 392, which is the purchase and conveyance of a vacant lot at 451 South Ottawa. This will be purchased for $647 and some change and conveyed to the to add to the Warren Sharp Community Center. They already have a community garden here. They've got 2 lots directly adjacent to this, and so this would be the 3rd lot, making a contiguous garden, expanding the area another 50%. Questions? Item 393 is, this goes back to the 7 properties. It's a resolution that we need to adopt for utilizing the STP funds for the 7 properties that we just, that you'll be approving on the acquisition of the right-of-way and then making those street improvements for that intersection. Then we have something that's out of order. It's 375, which is the Will County Hazardous Mitigation Plan. This is a plan that gets adopted every few years, in essence identifying properties throughout the city and the county that allows us to earmark governmental assistance towards the purchase of land that is predominantly in floodplain zones. And so the point is to mitigate those floodplains by acquisition, and saves life and property from damage in the future in those identified flood zones. Excuse me. The rest of the agenda is bids and contracts that have been reviewed by Public Service Committee, with the exception you just removed item memo 403. And I also want to point out 405 was approval of Well Rock. That was an emergency that we needed to get authorized right away due to a lightning strike that we had. And that's an emergency repair that you're kind of approving after the fact. That's being worked on as we speak. If there aren't any other questions, I do have a request for closed session this evening.
Actually, Mayor,
Yes.
I've got a question on, I'm sorry, on 409-15, the oversizing of the water and sewer line going, is that the line on Laraway Road that is basically going out to the public safety campus out there for the county?
Yes, it is. That's a wet well that expands the size from 8 feet to 10 feet.
And that's basically at our request, I assume?
Yeah. And that's something that we would pick up the cost for.
So whatever the incremental cost is on that, the city would pick that
Right,
cost up?
right.
Okay, that's fair.
25,000 we're gonna cover.
Okay. Very good.
Is there a motion for closed session?
Before we go in, can we do
We do have
comment?
public comment. I'm sorry.
comment?
Thank you. Next, we have public comments. We did have Bob Nachtrieb, representative from Kappa, here to speak.
Thank you, Krista. I'm Bob Nachtrieb, 614 Western Avenue. I'm a member of the Kappa Board, and I work with Unity CDC, and I have a sentence and a question. The sentence is, didn't see a vote on an Evergreen Terrace purchase on the agenda for tonight or tomorrow night. So my question is, are we going to do it in 2 weeks?
I think the plan is to do it in 2 weeks, to have the vote. Tomorrow night, the Housing Authority is going to come in front of the council and present, I guess in essence, another plan. I had met with them about a week ago with Councilwoman Gavin, and then I met with them last week with Mr. Hock. And I thought some of the information they were bringing forward was relevant to the council, so they're going to be here tomorrow. They couldn't today because a couple of their members were out of town. But I would encourage you to tune in or be here tomorrow to hear their spin on this.
Mayor?
Yes.
I was actually going to bring this up. We skipped new business for council. There's an email that went out from the president of St. Pat's Neighborhood Association. And in here, it indicates that all residents should be here either tonight or tomorrow night because we're taking a vote on the purchase of Evergreen Terrace. And some of us may be wavering. So maybe, I don't know if that's how you got information that we were going to be voting tonight or tomorrow night. I did have a couple calls on this. But is there any way that, I believe you gave the council an email, Mr. Hack, about a week or two ago, and I think, Mayor, you laid it out at the last meeting what the next steps were. Is it possible that you could have that tomorrow night? I think you indicated where we'd have to vote for the purchase, and then I think you said next was the management contract or some type of contract?
We're having conversation with our consulting attorney on the need to enter into an agreement right away with Holston or anybody in terms of the third-party LLC while an appeal is going on, because we're really not technically the owner until any kind of court appeal is final. But on the next regular agenda, council does have to make a motion to amend the agenda and authorize giving the court the $15 million for purchase of Evergreen
That's
Terrace.
at the 18th meeting?
Yes.
I thought that's what we discussed. I don't know if you guys got that email or not, but I just want to make sure the correct information. So anything on Evergreen is going to be at the August 18th meeting. Monday pre-council, and the actual vote then would be on Tuesday when we vote on items. So I don't know if we could, I'll email and respond to her after the council meeting, but just so everybody knows at home, nothing's taking place tomorrow night. You can stay home and your AC and watch us from television.
Your Honor.
Councilman.
Jim, I would assume, too, at some point in time, we're going to have to take a vote here to amend our budget to authorize the purchase,
That will be
correct?
the next regular council meeting.
Thank you.
Yeah. The motion will be to amend the budget to expend the funds for
Appropriate the dollars
the
to expend the
purchase.
funds.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
That's all I had on it.
Next, we have John Sheridan.
Mr. Mayor, City Council, I would like to thank the Texas Roadhouse in Joliet for hosting a free lunch fundraiser for Special Olympics last Friday. It was a packed house from 11 to 2. I don't know if any of you got the opportunity to make it. This business gave back 100% of their proceeds to the community. In addition, I would like to give a big shout out to Chief Benton and the numerous Joliet police officers who participated in the great event, as he do earlier in the year with the rooftop collection on top of the donut shop, and all the proceeds collected go back to Special Olympics. I still haven't figured out why they choose the donut shop. There must be some truth to the story about cops liking jelly donuts. Seriously, folks, thank you to the Joliet Police Department and other local law enforcement officers for all you do for the torch run. Job well done, and it does not go unnoticed. So thank you.
Thank you.
Eddie Young.
Hi, my name is Eddie Young. I live at 2308 Gulfview Drive in Joliet, Illinois. And basically, I know we're talking about Evergreen's going to be off for a couple weeks, but I want to go back to something the mayor had mentioned at the last meeting that I attended, that he wanted to possibly go back and talk to the lawyers about putting back up the original proposal that they had sent out. And I'm wondering, are we going to do anything with that, or what?
That's settlement negotiations, and that was my recommendation, is we shouldn't be talking about that.
We did talk about an executive session, Mr. Young, but because there's an ongoing legal battle, it's not proper for us to discuss it publicly.
Okay.
That's all that I show signed up.
Sorry, Candace Johnson, St. John's Neighborhood Organization, 377 Western Avenue. I had a quick question. I didn't know for the presentation by Housing Authority tomorrow if it was going to be the first thing on the agenda or in the afternoon, or like later in the agenda. My only reason is we have the night out for the Joliet Police Department tomorrow evening beginning at 6 p.m. at Bicentennial Park, and I would like to be able to attend both items. However, you both start roughly at the same time. So
It'll be the first item on the agenda.
do we know how long a presentation?
No.
Roughly? Okay. Thank you.
We'd like to attend both items too, but I don't think it's going to happen.
We would, yeah, if
Yes.
I might, just a couple of comments right here. I would love to, if Deputy Chief Gregory could meet me at the podium. And Deputy Chief from the Fire Department as well. You know, it is such an honor to come before you both. And thank you. So tonight, I thank you on behalf of the Forest Park Community Center. Deputy Chief Gregory, your department has put on the PAC camp. That's police and children together. We just had our graduation on Friday. And if you would be so kind, sir, I bought a couple of shirts. I may have to resize one, but broader than I thought. But one for yourself and one for Chief Benton. You attended the graduation ceremony, and it was amazing. The kids enjoyed it. And Your Honor, this year, we brought together Forest Park and Warren Sharp Center together to expand that program. And so it was amazing. The kids had a great time. They got some great takeaway skills and core values. So thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate it. We appreciate it so much. Chief Landich, this is, we also want to thank you for coming out on Saturday with the touch of truck. And also the 500 gallons of water was tremendous. Thank you. We had a dunk tank. Came out and they filled that for us out in the park. Allowed you to manipulate the fire hose and got wet and all that stuff. So we really wanted to thank your department as well and Station 4. Thank you all so much for all you do. Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
Is there a motion to go into closed session?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and seconded to go into closed session to discuss personnel, collective bargaining, land acquisition or conveyance pending or threatened litigation, after which the meeting will be adjourned. Councilman Girl?
Aye.
Councilman Hugg?
Aye.
Councilman McFarland?
Aye.
Councilman Morris?
Aye.
Councilman Mudrin?
Aye.
Councilwoman Coleman?
Aye.
Councilman Turk?
Aye.
Councilwoman Gavin?
Aye.
Motion carried.